Hey everybody, it's Jenny Hogg, and I wanted to share with you a way to Google-ize your ARC conference summary notes. So where this idea kind of stemmed from is that in my experience, I spent a lot of time working out of Word document templates. What I found was that they were difficult to individualize. I was constantly hunting for places where it said the student and I needed to individualize it. I was doing some find and replace. It was just hard to make sure all the pronouns and things were appropriate because I absolutely wanted it to look individualized whenever we went into the ARC meeting. And it was, but working from the template, it sometimes made it hard to catch all of those things. So I found myself spending a lot of time working off of these templates. I was afraid to stray from the templates because I wanted to be sure that I completed everything and covered everything. So sometimes working from scratch was difficult too. So hopefully this will help us to make complete ARC conference summary notes that are individualized. We're not creating them from scratch, but I will tell you that it may take a little bit of an investment in the front end to get it set up, but I'm hoping that this will make your life much easier in the long run. So in the way that this system kind of works is that we're going to start with a Google form, and I'm going to show you on the next slide how you can get a hold of one to start with. You also want a Google Doc. And then we are going to use an autocrat that works off of Google Sheets to marry these two documents and make them work together, and that's where the magic happens. So on this slide, you may want to pause the presentation for now. You can scan the QR codes or go to those links to get copies of each of these documents. So I'm going to go over into those right now. This is what the copy of the document looks like. And you'll see here that some of the text looks kind of funny. These tags right here are the merge text, and they're super important. You will want to correspond those so that what's happening here is every time that I've put a merge text in here for the student's first name, and I've entered the student's first name on this form, it is going to populate every place that it says that so that it makes the document individualized for that student. So this is what the form looks like, and I do include the email for the person that's taking the notes, and you'll see why in just a minute. So we're going to go to the responses and pull in the Google Sheet, and that's what we're going to be working off of for the next couple of minutes. So we're going to get the add-on Autocrat. If you don't already have it, you will want to add that on, and then we're going to launch it. Okay, so we are going to start a new job. Right here. Okay, I'm going to start a new job so I can walk you through this. I'm going to give my job a name. So I'm going to do this as Conference Summary Example Screencast so that I remember that this was what I shared with you. And then you click Next. You just want to give it a name that you can remember. Okay. This part is where I'm going to link it to, remember we said we're going to marry the form with that document, so I'm going to link it up with that document that had all those crazy merge text in there. So that is what's called a copy of practice. Here you probably want to give it a better name so you can remember. You'll see it pop up here. Okay, so you're going to click Next. Now, Autocrat is pretty smart, and so it does a really nice job of linking up those fields that are in the form with the merge text tags that are in the document. And you can see here that all of mine but two linked up automatically. So if there is a discrepancy in the text, whether it be a capitalization or something that's just a little bit different, it's not going to automatically link it. So you're just going to click and make sure that those match up with the field. I will tell you that merge text tags are case sensitive, so you do have to be careful when you're naming conventions and be consistent with those. Okay, we're going to name the file. So this is the output file, and something that I think is pretty cool is that you can actually put the merge text tags inside of the title and inside the email that we're going to do here in just a minute. So for the student's first name, conference summary, we're going to put it out as a Google Doc. because we want to be able to go. You have the option of a PDF, but we want to go back in and just tweak it at the end. This is where you're going to save it. You might want to have a specific file folder for these. You can choose that here. Okay, we're going to skip over steps 6 and 7. They're cool features, but we're just going to kind of glance through that for now so I can get into all the things I need to show you. We do want to share the file, and we want it to be editable. And so remember I said we're going to ask for that email, and here's where we're going to tag that right here. So what can happen here is that email field, whenever this document runs, it'll automatically email the person who completed it, or to that email address, the Google Doc, so they can go back in and customize it. So here we're going to give it a subject line. You can give it whatever title makes sense to you, just so that you recognize that email. You can also put in the message there, and you can customize it for the student's first name, last name, the date, whatever you want to do there to customize it. Okay, this part is super important. For the triggers, you want to select yes. And the reason why we want to select yes is so that whenever you click submit on the form, when you filled it out, you come down to the bottom and you click submit, Autocrat, we want it to automatically output that Google Doc for us. If you do not select that, then you would have to manually go in and ask Autocrat to run that, and that might be a lot for you to keep up with. So just select yes on that. You also have the option to run it on a time trigger, but it's better for it to be on the form trigger, in my opinion. So then you just click save. And now it'll be linked up and it'll be ready to go. So I'm going to stop this screencast for now. I'll come back on part 2 so that you can see this tool in action. Stay tuned for part 2. Thanks.